Yep, the Crown, it went out with just the biggest whimper possible, man. This show started out so good, so good. And while it has dipped in quality season to season, it still stayed compelling enough where it's like, this is still interesting. I still want to know what's going on with the royal family. I want to know what's going to happen next. The final part of season 6, which is the final season of the show, is just, it jumps all over the place. It starts out with William kind of dealing with the death of his mother, Diana, going back to high school, but then out of nowhere, he graduated and he's going to college, and then we jump to him meeting Kate Middleton, and then we jump to Princess Margaret's health problems, her strokes, her eventual death, though we don't see her die. It's just a little title card saying she peacefully passed away in her sleep, and then gives the date. And then it jumps to the Queen Mother's death, and then it jumps to them planning the Queen's death and Prince Philip's death, and it's like, what the fuck? And then it ends with the wedding of Charles and Camilla, and it's just like, I don't care. I'm all Staunton. I mean, she's a great Queen Elizabeth. She really is. She's probably the only real good part of this last half season, well, last season in general. Not counting Elizabeth Debicki in the first half of the season, because she's just amazing as Diana. But this last half of the final season, she's the only part worth watching. And it is great to see the returns of Olivia Colman and Claire Foy as their respective Queen Elizabeths. And I won't say, if you haven't watched it, and if you do want to watch it, I won't say how we see them return or what they do, because it's just a slight, tiny spoiler, but it's cool to see them get to come back and like kind of have closure with their respective versions of the character. But ultimately, The Crown, Season 6, Part 2, final season, it's a slow, boring crawl that I honestly almost fell asleep. At one point, they do show the infamous moment of Harry wearing a Nazi uniform for a costume party, and I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to get interesting now. But then it's just glossed over and it's done. While in real life, the whole thing with the royal family does kind of dip down into obscurity once Diana does die, because she was the most interesting thing about the royal family. You know, this show it delves into just practically nothing, when there are big moments like the Harry moment wearing a Nazi uniform, and the fallout of that in the show just kind of glosses over it. There's also whatever royal family member, I don't remember which one it is, who has ties with Jeffrey Epstein and his fucking island of underage sex trafficking. Like, that would have been interesting to explore, but it's just ignored. It ends with the wedding of fucking Charles and Camilla. We don't even get the death of the Queen. We don't even get a title card at the end of the final episode saying, oh, the Queen died, passed away, whatever, on this date, and Charles was coronated and coronation, blah, 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 on this date. And like, we don't even get that. The entirety of season 6, part 2 is just slow and boring and sleep-inducing. It really is. I give the final half season of The Crown, only because Staunton was so good as the Queen, I give it a D.
Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.